Hi everyone, welcome to my latest video. I realized I didn't post a video about my complete Morpher collection, so here it goes. Here we have, sorry about the shift there, the original Power Morpher, the first Morpher to be used by the Power Rangers. We have the 5 coins here, the classic coins, the Mastodon, Pterodactyl, all that good stuff. We have the Ninjetti coins, the Ape, the Wolf, all that stuff. And the labels, I got it from Repro Labels to make it look more show accurate. The Morpher, I actually kept the Crane coin because I thought it looked pretty cool. And next, I have the White and Green Rangers Morpher. This was used by Tommy in the 2nd and 3rd seasons, also in the 1st season. The custom job is thanks to Megazord Mike. He did all the hard work, so I could never pull off a costume like this. And down below here I have the White Ranger coin from the 2nd season and the 3rd seasons. Next I have the Power Brace, best known as the Zeonizer. This was the first wrist Morpher used by the 5 Zeo Rangers. Moving on, we have the Gold Ranger Morpher. This was actually never used in the Zeo Power Rangers TV show, but however it was used by King Ranger in the Orange TV series. And I always thought it to be a really cool looking Morpher, so I got it. Next we have the Turbo Morpher, which was used by the 5 Turbo Rangers. This was the only existing Power Rangers series that did not have a another ranger, like a special ranger, to use like another Morpher to transform, while other series at least had 2 different looking Morphers, if you get what I mean. Next we have the Digitizer, best known as the Astro Morpher. This was the very first Morpher to have used voice activating features. Let me just show you a small sample here. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. That's one of my favorite Morphers. Next, we're moving on to the Digimorpher used by the Silver Ranger. This was actually my very first Morpher, and this is actually the very first Morpher to be looking like a cell phone that has like cell phone features. So that's pretty cool too. And it's more than 10 years old now, the Digimorpher, and it's in decent shape. And we're back here, and we're here with the Galaxy Morpher. And if you have seen my Galaxy Morpher reviews, you guys would have known that I painted the zigzag pattern on the wristband. Unfortunately, through time, the gold paint had worn off, and the tape that I used is starting to look visible. And I need to replace this Morpher too, because it looks pretty old, and it has some scratches on the buttons, but no big deal. And moving on, we have the Magnet Defenders Morpher. This was used by Mike, the Magnet Defender, and this Morpher was used by the 5 Galaxy Rangers. And this, if most of you guys may or may not know, it was actually a re-release of the Aura Changer, which the Die Rangers used. Moving on, we had the Rescue Morpher used by the 5 Lightspeed Rangers. The Rescue Morpher was actually one of my earlier Morphers, my very first wrist Morpher actually. Next is a very rare gem that actually kept me from completing my Morpher and Changer collection for a very long time, the Titanium Morpher. This was used by the Titanium Ranger, the only known US Ranger, so that's why it's pretty rare, because there's no Japanese counterpart. There's only an American version. Next we have the Chrono Morpher used by the 5 Time Force Rangers, and we have the Quantum Morpher used by the Quantum Ranger. Moving on, we have the G-Phone used by the Gao Rangers. The only reason I got the G-Phone is because it bothered me that they only gave you the option to be the Red Ranger, while in the G-Phone you can interchange the heads and have any one of the Rangers you want on the G-Phone. Next we have the G-Phone Brace. Again, I got the G-Phone Brace because it was more show accurate than the Luna Collar, and also it gave you the option, like in the TV show, to mount it onto your hand and also remove the first part like he would when he wanted to transform. So that's a really pretty cool changer. Moving on downwards, we have the Wind Morpher used by the 3 Wind Rangers, Red, Blue, and Yellow. We have the Thunder Morpher used by the Navy and Crimson Ranger. And we have the Shuriken Ball that was used by the Green Samurai Ranger. I'm moving on. We have the Brachio Morpher. I actually have the key with me, I just don't know where I put it at the moment. So it's used by the Tommy, the Black Ranger. And red, blue, and yellow Morphers used by the blue, red, and yellow Rangers. And next we have the Triassic Gold Morpher, which was used by, what's his name again? That's right, the Red Ranger to transform into Triassic Ranger. And then we have one of my favorites, the Drago Morpher, or sorry, Dino Minder, that was used by Mikoto the Outbreak Killer to transform into that. Next we have the Delta and Patrol Morphers. The Delta Morpher was used to transform into the 5 SPD Rangers. The Patrol Morpher was used to transform into the Shadow Rangers. They're actually very cheap looking Morphers. But I didn't really care to get the SP license, which is more show accurate, because I never paid much attention to SPD or Deca Ranger to care. Next we have the Brake Throttle used by the Omega Ranger, or sorry, Deca Brake. The reason I got the Japanese counterpart was because the Omega Morpher was never released in Canada, and by the time I decided I wanted one, to get the Omega Morpher would have costed the same as the Brake Throttle, and of course, like, I would have wanted a more show accurate one than a cheaper version for the same price. Then we're moving on to the Magi Changers, that is. I keep on saying Maggie, I don't know why. We had the Magi Mother phone, which was never released in the US or used by the US counterpart. This was used by Magi Mother. Then we have the Magi phone used by the 5 Magi Rangers. Then we have the Volzard phone, or the Yuza phone, that was used by Volzard, or known as Korag. And then we have the repainted gold grip phone, which has all the spells and everything used by Magi Shine. A lot of people ask me, well, not a lot, but some people ask me, why don't you have the regular blue grip phone? Well, my thing is because the blue grip phone doesn't have any electronics, and I don't see a reason for why I should get the blue grip phone also, just to, I don't know, to make it more show accurate. I don't know. I never cared for Magi Shine anyways, so for me the gold grip phone will do, just like the blue one would have. Then moving on to my last piece, the Bukanger Gogo Changer, which was used by I believe his name was Bukane Silver or Asian. And then down here we have the Overdrive Morpher used by the 5 Overdrive Rangers, and just something that I just got, which is just I believe it was called the Turbo Overdrive Tracker, which was just a repaint of the regular one. And I'm gonna answer some questions here about the changes, because I had a lot of people ask me different questions. Some people asked me, why didn't you get the Battleizers, because they're also considered Morphers. That doesn't really make you complete. Okay, the reason I didn't get the Battleizer Changers or Morphers are because I never considered the Battleizers as Morphers or Changers, because Battleizers are devices that the Rangers would use to add extra armor to their already existing Ranger suit. For me, a Morpher is something that you would use to change your current state completely, while the Battleizer does not accomplish that. So for me, the Battleizer is more of an in-battle gear type of thing, like it's the same thing as a weapon. It's not really a Morpher to me. That's why I never cared to getting it. And I also get to the question, to be complete, why don't you have the red Volzard or the red Korag Morpher, or the Deca Bright or Deca Swarm Changers? Well, my response to that is they're only Rangers that were in 1 or 2 episodes, and plus they were never released officially by Bandai of Japan or Bandai of America. So I don't feel that it's necessary to go all the way to customize their changes and get. But if you think that it will make your Morpher and Changer collection complete, go for it. But I'm only in for the ones that were released. But then you can go further in asking me, but here you go, you have a repainted Power Morpher. The Green Ranger's Morpher was never released, yet you went into the trouble of getting a repainted one. Well, my answer to that is the Green Ranger and the White Ranger, well, especially the White Ranger, they were major characters in the Power Rangers TV show. That's why I felt necessary to get the Green Ranger and White Ranger repainted Morpher. Well, I hope that answered all your questions here. I'm running out of time. And thanks for watching, and always leave feedback and comments. Thanks.